Greetings and welcome to my channel.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Hi, how is everyone? I'm a one man band here, so give me just a sec. Let me get this other banner off and get the one on that I want because today I'm going to be trying something new again. Let's see, where is it? Let's put that one up. Alrighty. How is everyone? I was reading through some of the comments. No, this title has nothing to do with my kid's mother. Like what? Well, I mean, any more than it has to do with everybody who lies. So, yeah, for the newbies here, yes, my name is Caleb Leverett, and I am Parker and Hayden Blaine London's father. And please don't ask me how my cheerings are doing because they're doing great, and I don't talk about it anymore. That being said, a lot of people do keep asking. I understand why. And today's topic is liar, liar, pants on fire. And I just came up with that as I was on my run today, and as I'm getting old and my beard's turning gray and the top of my head still looks pretty colorful, but the side's turning gray, I often talk to myself and just ponder, pontificate, pray. And I just got to talking about myself, about liars. And there's a famous quote by my favorite actor, Hugh Laurie, who played the role of Dr. Gregory House, MD, in the TV show called House MD. And his famous quote, and it's basically one of his staples, it's his mantra, which is part of the makes him who he is. He always says, "Everybody lies," and I think he's right. I'll raise my hand. Have I ever told a lie? Yeah, a little one, probably. If you've told a lie, have you? Let me know. I bet you have to some point. Now, some lies could be a little white lie like Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy. And then some lies are really, really big and bold. Telling big, fat lies can ruin civilizations, it can ruin lives, or it can certainly alter history. And I'll give you just a for instance for me. I've often talked about this. I was born extremely naive. I believed everything that I saw. I had no idea that the vast majority of all of humanity is full of and run by a bunch of effing liars. Politicians lie for a living. That's their sustenance. And men lie, and women lie, and cheerings lie, and they've all got different reasons, but I've kind of boiled it down to the big ones. Most people tend to lie for because they want something or they want something not to be known. And as I often do, I never fully pick sides. I've taken some shit for it, but it's like Republican versus Democrat. I don't give a crap. I'm not on either side. And I also mock men and women equally. Some people say I'm a little harder on the women, and they might be a little bit right, but that's the part where some people that generally don't like me um, say that I'm a misogynist. And I'm a lot of things, but I'm generally not known as a liar to people who know me in person. Now, a lot of these people that know me, they may not think of me as a liar. And this is from my point of view. They may not like me. A lot of people I know for a fact don't like me at all that I know in person. But that's okay. They can not like me, but to the best of my knowledge, they in their heart of hearts they know I'm not a liar because I don't tend to sugarcoat shit anymore. I just say it how it is, and some people take it the wrong way and they think, well, that's hate speech, Caleb. That's mean. That's tacky. Uh, you well, just give you for instance, women. we'll start with women and make the men cheer and piss the women off, and then I'll flip it and we'll get to the men where they lie and make the women, cheer, root, root. Yeah. Women lie commonly for money. They do it a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And by no means am I saying that all women. No, I'm not going to do the all argument. Oh, by the way, before I get started, I'm going to remind you I am attempting to cater more to what few members I have. And if you want to get on here and talk to me live, there is a link in the post section, formerly known as the community section on my YouTube channel, on this channel. The link is in there. You just click on it. I think, pretty sure you can use your phone or your laptop. I think it'll give you the option to use your face or not. You can make up your own name. And if you want to come on and chat, I just have one caveat or a few caveats. Please don't ask me about my cheer-ins. When you do call, if I do click on you and you come in, just don't be weird. Just be cool. Have something to talk about. When you call in, just start talking. I put kind of the general description in the the post area where you can click, you can find the link. And also there are a couple of topics that are off limits because of the way YouTube is. And it's not that I don't want to talk about it, it's that I can't. I cannot and will not martyr myself and ruin this whole entire channel by talking about the things that it's not stated, but it's just known. You just don't criticize and talk about. And anyways, back to what women lie about commonly. They lie about because they want money. A lot of times women marry for money, and that's not me being mean. That is an objective, observable fact. You can look anywhere in the news for the past dozens of years and find where all kinds of women have married really awful, rich men and then taken them to the cleaners. And due to Title 4D laws, they get their money. So they lie with their hair and their makeup and their attitude, and they just love him. They just love him. There's nothing wrong. And after the ink is nice and dry and the honeymoon phase is over and there's possibly a cheering or two popped out, she's bored he doesn't make her happy. And they'll make up all kinds of lies to get rid of him, but they always need his money. And now let's do the flip side. What men lie about. Men, don't lie. If you're a man or a straight man, you've done this. Men typically, especially young men, and whether they mean to or not, they lie to women constantly. They generally will not tell women the truth. Why is that? They want something. What is it they want? They usually want to get laid. That's 9 times out of 10. I don't know how. That's the reason a lot of the time. She can be, say, the dumbest, most woke BS. I can't say that word. The dumbest thing ever. And if he's interested in her and he wants to lure her into his lair and take her home that night, he'll tell her a big fat lie. Oh, it doesn't bother me. No, you're great. That's awesome. Oh, and they pretend to be interested in all the girl crap they talk about. And it's only because they know if they don't, they might turn her off and she might say no. And then he's stuck holding the bag. Cheeren's lie. Why did Cheeren lie? Because a lot of them like to be bullies. They like picking on people, or maybe not bullies. Maybe that's a little harsh term. Like, I used to love to pull my little sister's hair and make her squeal when we were like little. She's 2 years younger than me. So when I was like 5 and she was 3, I just loved annoying her. But if I got in trouble, I would lie and say, well, I didn't do it. It's just a bald-faced lie because I didn't want to get my ass beat. I don't know. That was just on my mind. The root cause of why people lie. I think that's why a lot of beautiful women are typically insane, is because nobody has told them the truth their entire life because pretty women typically get away with murder. They get away with everything because men are not maybe not necessarily intimidated. And I'm certainly not saying all the time. It's probably to varying degrees, but they're not going to tell them the truth because they don't want to piss them off. And they might not like them or they want to be seen with them. And I don't know. It's just how it is. I don't know why, but it is. But lies, some argue that lies are what hold the fabric of society together. And without lies, some say it would fall apart. And there is an episode, I don't know which number it is, on a TV show called Sandman. And Sandman, I believe, is on Netflix. If I'm not mistaken, the guy that produced it and wrote it, he's in Gaiman. I forgot his name. He's in some kind of hot water. He did something. He's like looking at prison time, but they did make part two. Anyway, there's an entire episode, and there might be I won't completely ruin it for you if you haven't seen it and you want to watch it, but there's an episode on there where the whole setting, there's like 8 characters, and they're all in a restaurant. And take one is everybody goes through, gets their business, talks. The waitress talks to them, takes orders. The people are talking to each other across the table. The cooks are doing their thing. Cashiers doing their thing. And you don't realize it, but every single person in there is lying their ass off, but they're being very polite. And the whole scene gets, everybody orders and comes in, and the cooks come out, and the blah, 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 everything happens, and it's fine. Now, enter this dude, and I don't remember his character's name, but he was a professor on one of the Harry Potter movies. And the one that turned into a werewolf, I can't remember his name. Sade would know, but I can't remember his name. But anyway, he basically does a take two, and he says, well, because they're all complaining about liars. Everyone's lying all the time. I just hate it when, I wish you'd just tell me the truth. I want the truth. He's like, no, you don't. This world would fall apart, and I'll prove it. And so he does this take, and then the scene in the restaurant rehappens. Everybody's sitting at their table or cooking their food, or the waitress going back and forth, and the cashier, blah, blah, blah. And at the end, everybody kills each other because they can't handle, and not one lie was told. So, anyways, how y'all doing? I may not get anybody in the member section. I have no idea. Um, let's see. I'm gonna go over to comments. But yeah, no, this had nothing. That I saw a couple of comments where someone would say this might have something to do with my ex, and no, again, not any more than it would have to do with anybody else that lies. Kaylee Fambro and Obaki, I'm not sure how you say that. Piano Pie and Molly Maynard. Hello, everybody. What in the world? I have no idea what you're talking about. Gray beards are cool. Yeah, if you're old like me. I lie too. I've lied before. Martin Coleman says hi. Also, my name is Caleb Piano Pie. Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot I can do this. I can put y'all's names up there. Piano Pie. Also, my name is Caleb as well. LOL. Love the choice of presentation of their lips are moving, they're lying. Oh, politicians? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what I'm not going to talk about. I assume Lanelli, you're new here. My kids are all grown. The youngest is 19. The Parker's 26, and no, I don't see him often. I talk to him often, some of them, but I just don't get into it. I'm not those type of people who are weird. I'm glad. I mean, it's okay to be a little weird. I'm weird. I'm, I'm different. I'm not very social. I don't hate people. I'm always a little awkward around people. Obagi, do you like indigenous people or cultures of native people? Um, indigenous to where? I don't hate any cultures, but I do have my preferences on what I prefer to be around. But no, I don't hate anybody. Colin Hackett, I know narcissistic parents and step parents will lie too, so they will get their way. Well, yeah, they do, but then again, everybody lies. There you go. Yeah, Colin, that's Professor Lupin that turns into the werewolf. Yes, Professor Lupin. He, David, what is his name? Let me ask Siri. I've just learned how to do this thing. It's kind of cool. Hey, Siri, who played Professor Lupin in the Harry Potter series?
David Thewlis played Professor Lupin in the Harry Potter series. This answer is from harrypotterkids.com.
David Thewlis. Yeah, that's him. Thank you, Siri. David Thewlis. He is the one who played in this that episode of Sandman. Sandman. Oh my gosh, I got a new member. Who are you? Red Squirrel. Red Squirrel became a YouTube member. I think I'm like. Let me see if I know how to remember how to do my. Where's it at? Well, that wasn't the one I was looking for, but that'll work. Thank you, Red Squirrel. I think I remember seeing a user named Red Squirrel before. Oh, whoops. So God made a farmer pimping. What's up, man? I do remember you pimping. Oh, I'm trying not to. Yep, David Thewlis. Well, I wanted to use my Siri. I think it's cool. I turned my Siri into a woman's voice who's British because I like women with British accents. I think they sound cool. I'm gonna scroll back up at the top. Okay, I haven't missed any. I just don't have a whole lot of people here at the moment. I think I'm just gonna have to work this and just go live more often. Um, I've got 500,000 subscribers and almost nobody either has the thing clicked, and I hate begging for likes and subscribe. I remember in the last podcast from like 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, I was wondering, pontificating as to why I've got 500,000 subscribers and almost nobody shows up because nobody knows I'm live. And people were telling me you have to ask people for likes and subscribes. And I had never heard that before. I'd watched YouTube off and on my whole life, but at the time I didn't really have a favorite channel and didn't watch. And I've since gotten into a lot of finance channels that I watch, and these guys they either go live or put out a 15 to 30 minute video 5 to 6 days a week, and I see what they're talking about. You have to beg for likes and subscribe. Hit the like, guys. Smash the like, guys. And I just think it's so freaking. I'm having to watch my words. It's just so dumb. I don't understand why. And now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. And it's like 5% of every YouTube video ever put out is just YouTubers reminding people to hit the bell. If you like this sort of content, hit the bell. As if everybody doesn't already know that. It's like we don't we see everybody saying that. But I don't know. I don't understand why YouTube made it like that. If you subscribe to the channel, I always thought if you subscribe to the channels because you want to see their content pop up in your scroll in your news feed. But apparently it doesn't work like that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This person right here. Girl for real 82. I always see people asking for likes and subscribes in mini vids. Yeah, I mock them. I've got a couple of videos where throughout the video I've got, the SpongeBob, the derp, hit the like guys because we're too stupid, we don't know what it means. Like if I subscribe to your channel, it's because I want to see it. Show me when they put something new out. I just don't understand why. I think it's pointless. But I guess if that's the way it is, dear fam, please hit the like and subscribe. If you like this sort of content, tell your friends. Off target, but I found a gym I like to work out in Cincinnati, Ohio. I think it's fun to work out and build abs and muscles. Good. You should. Everybody should. Benny Boy, they just got to play it cool. Oh, the people begging for likes and subscribes. I guess, and that's why I've often said frequently, I'm not a very good YouTuber. I don't really, I play by the rules to the extent I don't get kicked off. And I try to add a little flash. Like I got these cute little lights, and it makes the ambiance in here that, makes it kind of nice. And I see the benefit of adding the trailer. I actually made that video of two of those trailers. I made those a long time ago. Well, the one where the girls were saying, Caleb Leverett, we're big fans, that was from like a month ago. But that other one of that chick that was just spamming like 15 of my videos, copy and paste and telling me what an awful person I am. Hang on a second. Yeah, I made that one like, I don't know, a year ago, maybe two. I cannot see your name. It's so tiny. Asa? I'm just going to call you Horse Saves Horses. Hi, Caleb. Now I have got you, but it is 3:20 here. I cannot stay long. I always push the like button. This should be normal. Thank you. Thank you very much. 3:20. Let's see if it's 3:20, 10, 11, 12:20 on the East Coast. You must be in England. But thank you, Saves Horses. I bring the boom. I'm doing well. Once I get out of debt, I'll be even better. Benny Boy, oh my bad, it's been almost 6 months. I'm not sure what the context there. No, my name is Astrid. Well, Astrid, how was I supposed to know? It says on your display name, Save Horses. Okay, looky here. We've got Red Squirrel, our new member that was a member about 5 minutes ago, wanting to pop in. And I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm about to bring in Red Squirrel. Hello, Karen. How are you? I'm going to bring in Red Squirrel here. And just so you know, again, there's just a couple of topics. I can't even really say what they are. You probably, if you've been paying attention to any kind of politics, you might know what they are. That's about the only thing that's off politics or off topic. And some people say, well, you don't want the truth be told. We're going to expose you. You can come on and criticize me if you really, and for all I know, maybe that's what Red Squirrel wants to do. I have no idea. I don't know who this person is. Maybe I know them personally. I don't know recognize the username. But if you do want to criticize me, I've been begging for years. If you saw yesterday's live, that opening that I did, and it's like, I don't know, 5 or 6, 3 or 4 or 5 minutes long. I don't remember. There's three different clips of three different songs, and it's all people shit talking me. I'd play it right now, except I got not a strike, but that video from yesterday's live got demonetized unless I choose to cut out those three songs. But it didn't get a whole lot of views anyway, so I'll just leave it up. If you so yeah, my point is, if you want to, I'm not censoring you to try to keep people from um, exposing me or whatever. Please feel free to come on. All right, I'm going to bring in Red Squirrel here. All
Hey, how's
right.
it going, man?
Hello, Red Squirrel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, what's going on, man? If I'm not mistaken, I think I remember seeing your username from way back when, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, I I've been subscribed to your YouTube channel for several years now, and uh, I I'm gonna go a little off topic here, if that's all right with you. Uh,
Absolutely, go ahead.
and I'm pretty sure I've told you before that I I I lost my wife a little over a year ago. So watching your YouTube videos has helped me over the past year a lot. Just just positivity, and I just want to come on here and I want
Well,
to I want to tell you thank you for that, and uh, keep the videos coming, man. I appreciate it. You have my support 110%. Uh, and it, it if if you ever need anything, just let me know, brother.
wow. Thank you. You, if you said it in a comment and it was over a year ago, I no, I don't remember, but I'm sorry to hear that. But I do appreciate that. I've been really working really hard on my positivity because there for a while I got, and it's nothing compared to what you've gone through, but I've often said my loss of having my children stolen from me, the only thing that could be worse would be the death of one of them. So I'm one step behind that. But I've really, and thank you, I've really been trying harder to be more positive because I went to a really dark place, as I can only imagine you've been there as well. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And uh, I did turn I turned to alcohol for the longest time, and
did you?
I'm yeah, and I'm currently in recovery as we
Nice.
speak. So I,
How long, if you don't mind me asking, how far along are you on your recovery?
I'm just 1 month.
Badass, man. You've gotten over the hard part. Now with
Oh
the
yeah,
death of your wife, that's a different story, and I don't have any experience there. I've lost people, but not not my wife or my children, not like that. But 1 month, that's outstanding. What made you want to quit?
man, it was just leading places that it was leading me to places I didn't need to be.
Did you quit cold turkey? Did you use the AA, or what method did
I,
you use?
yeah, I, I go to AA.
Do you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I- I've talked, I've documented, I've been 4 years, 7 months, and some days. I've documented off and on. I don't know which of my videos you've seen, but I didn't use the AA route. I'm glad AA exists, but I think my way's different. But I get a lot. I get people. People get mad at me sometimes because I quit without AA because I didn't know anything about it. I just picked my way and it worked. And then when I start telling my way, people will get mad at me because I don't think I'm an alcoholic. I just, I've never, I've heard people say that. I didn't understand it until I became one. Then I quit. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm not an alcoholic. And then I said that one time. People are yelling it. Well, yeah, you're still an alcoholic, Caleb, but you're just recovered. I'm like, no, I'm not. They're like, yeah, you are. Once you're an alcoholic, oh, you're an alcoholic. I was like, who told you that? And then I started looking into A. But again, I'm not. I'm glad again that you are sober. I'm glad AA exists. Is it is it hard for you to stay sober? If you don't, and
Uh,
again, if I'm
uh,
asking too many personal questions, you don't have to answer any of these. I'm just
uh,
always real curious.
no, it's all good. I mean, I do have my uh you know moments, where like I go in the convenience store and of course, they got alcohol all in the stores, and
Yep,
it,
by
it, it,
design.
it, it's just so hard not to walk over there and just get one out of the cooler. But I just had to tell myself, nope, nope, I don't need it, and that's basically what it comes down to. Is I got to tell myself, no, I do not need it. Don't
Well,
want
I've heard that about every AA person I've ever talked to about it. The story is about the same. And since you brought it up and you're sharing yours, I'm going to share mine. Mine's a little bit different. I quit cold turkey. I tried quitting before and I just wasn't ready, I guess. I hadn't made up my mind. But eventually, on August 21st, 2020, when the whole world was going to shit, I made up my mind all alcohol is poisonous to all humans all the time. And I want to live because I've got cheerins that are depending on me. And so, since I wanted to live, and I knew if I'd have kept going, I'd be dead by now. If I back then, I knew if I didn't quit soon, I was going to be dead. It was getting bad. So I made up my mind. The key word is it's, in my opinion, alcoholism. Now I don't know about other drugs because I've never really done any hard drugs, long enough to get addicted to them, but I did do alcohol. I made up my mind. This is bullshit. It's a it's a scam, like you just said. You walk in the store, it's everywhere. It's all over college campuses. It's all over big titties bouncing up and down on Instagram and wine and booze, and it's everywhere. And I thought, there's somebody behind this. And I have my theories, and that's one of the things I can't go into. But I just made up my mind. That shit's poison. I don't want to get poisoned. So therefore, I have no temptation. And I'm not trying to say this to like brag. That's the part that people think, well, you're just bragging because other people have it hard. I'm like, no, I'm not bragging. I'm nothing special. I'm saying this because if I can do it, I just figured it on my own. I never went to an AA meeting back then. I've been to a couple since just out of curiosity. But I'm telling you, if you want to try not having that daily struggle of like looking over and seeing, oh man, that beer looks good. Oh man, that whiskey looks good. Oh man, that bitch drink looks good, or whatever your was your favorite. When you reprogram your mind it's literally like a switch. You turn it off and you convince yourself, I don't want that effing shit. And you turn it off and it turns off. And now the smell of alcohol makes me want to vomit. So if you want to try it,
it.
maybe it'll help you, man.
Absolutely. That's 100% true. And
Which which part of the South are you from, man?
I'm right here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Right here.
Okay. I knew for a fact it was either Mississippi or Louisiana or Alabama. It was one of those three. I know for sure. I knew it wasn't the South and West Texas where I'm from because I've got hillbilly. I know I do, but you've got that Eastern hillbilly.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Well, yeah, I'm in currently in Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Pascagoula. Okay, yeah. I I've driven through the right by I-20, or is it 20 or
Uh,
10? I guess it'd be 10.
10. Yeah, I-10.
10. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
driven by there dozens of times going from Texas to Florida.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, hey, if you're ever driving through again, stop on by, man.
I've thought about that. People have told me to do meetups, and I've always thought, yeah, that's kind of cringe, but I've thought about it. I have. I'll be real honest. Part of this reason I'm doing this online chatting thing, this podcast, it's selfishly for me. I've got a complex on being in crowds. I don't like being around people. But I know I have, much like me getting out of the dark and start being more positive, I've got to start meeting people. And that's the reason I wanted to just try this, just to see how it worked. Because on my Facebook side, I've got a community of people that I've known for years and I've never met. Well, I've maybe met a few of them, but there's a bunch of them I've literally known for a dozen years, and I've never even met it, but we're friends. I consider them friends. But I keep getting kicked off of Facebook because I've got such a smart ass mouth, and so I thought, oh well, if I fire up this, maybe I make a little money, get out of debt, and maybe I could possibly make some friends. But yeah, maybe I'll one of these days I'll do a meetup somewhere. I think it'd be fun to meet a bunch of people that have watched the Parker movie and watched me rant and rave, meet a bunch of sober people. I would love to build an army of sober people that just shit on alcohol and alcohol companies and the scumbag Hollywood losers that sell their soul to peddle that shit because they're just poisoning us.
That's right. That's right. But anyways, uh, I gotta I gotta get on off of here. I gotta
Okay.
I gotta be up at 3:30 a.m.
All right. Get some sleep, man. Good. Thanks for calling in, Red Squirrel, and thanks for becoming a member.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye. Well, that was cool. It worked. I got a new member, and I got to meet somebody new who's a fellow. Well, I'm recovered. Maybe he's not recovered yet, but he's certainly recovering. He's still struggling. Yeah, I guess he is recovering. Hopefully, Red Squirrel will get to the point where I've got, and many others that I know, where you just are not tempted. It's just so much easier. You don't have to go to meetings. You don't have to wake up every day and say, well, one day at a time. You just say, God, I want to drop an F bomb so bad. Screw alcohol. It's so much easier because you get to wake up without a hangover. You didn't blow 10, 20, 30 bucks on whatever your choice of booze was to get by the day. So you save money, you feel better, and yeah. There's somebody else down there, Michelle Lovett, Lovitte. Michelle, there's a possibility that you and I might be long, long distant cousins. I'm right off of I 10 and 65. Let's see, where is 65? Trying to remember. Is that is that Louisiana? Is that the one that cuts northwest through Louisiana? I can't remember. But yeah, I was looking through some of Mom's old books, Mom's and Dad's old Leverett history books, and there's all my last name's Leverett. Some have an E on the end, some are Lovett or Lovit or Levitti or something like that. Right at Mobile. Okay, yeah, right where the big tunnel is, where you're going west to east, headed to Florida, there's this big old tunnel. You like drive underneath the ocean. Yeah, I know exactly where that's at. I've actually taken the wrong turn there because it's like in these curves, and if you don't slow down and miss it, it's like 35 on the interstate going through that tunnel. If you're not I've accidentally like taken the exit on accident. Yep, that's me. Actually, not just Jackson on September 29th. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. I'm, I don't know what that means. 65 will take you to Montgomery, where Hank Sr. was from. She's probably rolling her eyes. God, everybody always has to bring up Hank Sr. Well, I can't help it. I grew up with that music. There's an old song by David Allan Coe where he's talking about the stranger in the car that picked him up, and it was Hank Sr. And this is where I get off, boy, because I'm going back to Alabama. Oh, I'm totally geeking out right now. Obaki, have you watched the Trailer Park Boys show, and what are your thoughts of the whole franchise? I've seen a few of them, and a few of them are funny, but I never did get fully into it. My boys did. I don't remember which one, Hayden or Parker. I don't remember. Maybe they all watched them. And Bubbles is hilarious, and the bullshit that yeah, they're funny. It just wasn't my. I just I was busy going to jail when that was really getting popular, and I just didn't have time for it. Austin Stelmach. Hey, man, glad you're doing well and recovered. Thank you, Austin. I'm doing a lot better, a whole lot better. I have no idea. Maybe there's a lag. I don't know, Dannon. I don't. I mean, I, unless it just gets absurd. I mean, it's not that critical, but Michelle, Tommy Shaw is from Montgomery too. I know that name. I just don't know who it is. Is he a football coach or something? If he is, that would be why I wouldn't know, because Tommy Shaw. The name sounds kind of familiar, but I don't know who it is. I plan to visit Cheyenne November 30th. And oh, okay. Okay, got it. Yeah, Cheyenne. I mean, it's not very, in my opinion, it's not very pretty. I mean, it's Wyoming. It's better than the South. Oh, from Sticks, old school. So yeah, so Michelle is obviously a Gen Xer if she knows who Sticks is. I love Hank Senior and Junior. Yeah, they seem like pretty good guys. My only deal with poor Hank Senior is he just he's one of those ultra talented guys that he was only like what 32 and just drank himself to death. Benny boy, what's the date you'll hit 5 years sober? It will be August the 21st of this year. Will be 5 years, and I don't know. Maybe I need to do some kind of celebration. Maybe I'll do a formal meetup. If the world hadn't gone to shit by the time by the time I hit 5 years, maybe I'll do some kind of meetup and make a very nice non-alcoholic toast to me. Austin, you should do a meetup in DFW. I would love to meet someone who successfully made it through the family. I assume you mean family court bullshit. Well, I just might do that. Parker's in the DFW area, and I need to go see him anyway. So I'm sorry to hear that you're going through it. It sucks, but yeah, I don't know how long you've got, but it does get better, and that's part of the reason I've turned my whole channel into My kids are they're not little anymore. This isn't about the family court and how to what I went through. It's more like I'm trying to show the young people, fathers, mothers, it doesn't matter. Anybody who goes through the family courts and gets railroaded, I'm trying to show you if you'll just hang in there, it will suck until you get out of it. But I haven't made it financially, but physically, man, look at that. Yeah, physically, I am jacked. And it does get better. And once you get through it, I wished I would have started working out. Obviously, I wish I'd have gotten sober a lot sooner. I wish I'd never started drinking. But I really, really, really wished I would have started working out because I think that would have helped my mental self do so much better. Keith Whitley did the same thing, drank himself away. I didn't know that. He did. Wasn't he married to Lori? What was her name? Blonde chick. She was gorgeous until he chopped all her hair off. Lori. I think Keith Whitley's married to a chick named Lori. Yes, Bubbles is funny, but you can't forget about the others like Ricky, Julian, Mr. Leahy, and Randy. Well, I do remember the names now that you mention it. I just didn't watch it that much, but I do understand, having favorite hillbillies like that, and they're Canadian hillbillies. But I always loved Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation. It's just one of those movies I watch every year, even though I've seen it 1,000 times. And what's really weird, that came out in like, I don't know, 80. Let me ask Siri because I like to listen to her. Hey, Siri.
Mm.
What year did the movie Christmas Vacation come out?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was released in 1989. This is from Wikipedia.
1989. Thank you, Siri.
For what time?
No, thank you.
Okay, I won't.
Have a good day. I love my little Siri. So 1989, I've been watching it pretty much at least once a year since 1989. I've been reading comments for several years now of people commenting on the Parker movie that say, I love this video so much. I watch it every year. I watch it twice a year. I've memorized it and it's my comfort. It's like, what? That is just so wild. It's kind of cool. It's flattering. Oh man. Some of my cryptos are popping off here. September 29th, celebrating my birthday. All right. Well, happy birthday. Lori Morgan. Yes, Keith Whitley is married to Lori Morgan. I didn't realize he drank himself to death. That's Obake. Is it sad? The actor who played Jim Leahy, named John Dunsworth, passed away on October 16th, 2017. He will forever be known as Jim Leahy, the best trailer park supervisor. Okay, I didn't realize he was dead. 2017. That's the year I got custody of Blaine. That was coming on 8 years ago. July 21st of this July 21st will be 8 years. So Mr. Leahy's been dead that long? Wow. They just built a new fitness center in my apartment building. My excuses to not work out are dwindling. Yes, they are, Dannon. And I'm going to ride your ass until you get on that treadmill or whatever it is you want to do. Time to stop procrastinating, I guess. Yes, just do it like Nike. Just do it. Just Stop making excuses and get your heart rate up, Dannon, for a minimum of 15 minutes a day, every single day. I never take off a day. I mean, there may be, in the last 6 months, I may have not run maybe a week, maybe. But if I don't run, I at least go to the gym, or at the very least, I stretch and do push ups. Yes, 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 yes. There's this old man I was watching he was some kind of fitness guru. I don't remember his name. And I don't know if this is true or not, but he said for every hour of exercise you do as an adult, you add 3 hours of your life at the end of your life on average. Again, take it for what it's worth. I don't know. But it's not just about the longevity, Dannon, of living longer, which I plan on doing. I plan on being well over 100 because there's plenty of people I want to piss off. But it's the having the ability to still move. Like Red Squirrel, I'm sure he could probably testify. Towards the end of me doing, towards the of my drinking career at age 43, I was having not only this big old, like, my shit, I'm not shitting you, my gut, it was out to here. I was 221 pounds. I'm 195 at the moment. I'm on my way back down to 185. But I had the shakes, like, that was normal, like that right there. But now, just steady. But I would reach to scratch my nose, and my finger would stop, and I'd have to, like, make myself, like, think about it. I was losing muscle memory. I was losing control of my body. So it's not just about living longer. It's having agility and being able to do stuff. Austin also grew up with my family being full of alcoholics and drug addicts and narcissistic people. I drink every once in a while and I smoke a little pot, but I'm glad I didn't fully fall into the cycle. Well done. I don't like pot, but if I was, like, forced, like, toss a coin, if I was forced to drink booze or get high, I would get high any day of the week. Again, I don't like pot. I'm not saying it should be outlawed. I don't think you should jail anybody for it. I think that's ridiculous, but it's just not my thing. But well done. Break that cycle. Save Horses. You told me your name, and now that I'm reading Save Horses, I can't remember. Sorry, but I have to be in the barn today, feeding all these horses one week. This person, the other week, another. It's about 3:49, and I only gave you my name. You know how many Karens and Kevins are out? Where you're at? I have no idea. Tell me. Those look like some horse emojis, but my eyesight's not that good. My screen's about 5 or 6 feet away. I can't see it. But thank you for tuning in. Get your horses done. Get them fed. They need it. Austin, when my grandma died in April, I felt like I lost the one and of the only people that cared. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. That's another thing I've learned to embrace is being alone. And I didn't used to like the feeling, but there's a whole, not a science, but there's a whole philosophy behind, particularly in the red pill. If you want to watch any of the YouTube red pillars, and there's a guy named give me a second. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I've ordered one of his books. He lived back in the I cannot believe my mind. I know who he is. He is an old philosopher, German philosopher. Um, I'll think of it later. Maybe I'll put it in the comments if somebody reminds me. Anyway, there's a whole philosophy about embracing loneliness and embracing the quiet and learning to accept and love and almost prefer being alone because it gives you time to find out who you are without stimulus from other people, whether it's people you love or don't like, but the stimulus from people that constantly want something from you, like little children. We all love our kids, but my God, they're life leeches. They just suck the life out of you. And I know, we all love our children and we're supposed to take care of them. We have to, but my suggestion, and that's what I've started. Actually, I've been in quite a while without even realizing it. I've learned to enjoy being alone. This is big for me, just getting out and doing these podcasts and talking to strangers that I've never met. Good riddance. Do you have any advice for me as I'm about to turn 18 and have had an addiction for years? And the effects are taking a toll on me, and I'm not really knowing what to do. Yeah, at 18, if you're already addicted, I don't know what you're addicted to. I don't have any experience with pretty much any hard drug outside of alcohol. At 18, if it is alcohol, you probably haven't been drinking it long enough for it to be a problem to just quit cold turkey. And it will suck. It'll suck so bad for about a week. And you'll have the night sweats, and you just make up your mind, this shit's going to kill me, and I don't want to die because there's people that I need to take care of, or there's people that I love. And at 18, my God, there's a whole world of things you haven't gone and done yet. Make up your mind that whatever you're addicted to is poison. And if you have the desire to not be poisoned, it makes it real easy. And once you get past a week, again, if it was alcohol, again, I don't have any recommendation on any other hard drug because I never got addicted to any of them. But if it was alcohol, just make up your mind that shit's poison and quit. And then when you quit, if you've got the type of addictive personality that you have to like do something to replace it, if you have to be addicted to something, I say get addicted to the gym. Get addicted to reading books about history and philosophy and science. And because I tell young people this all the time, it's in the comment section a lot. I have learned this. The stronger you are physically and the smarter you are, meaning the more shit you know. I'm not talking about college degrees. I'm talking about learning how the real world works, and the world is full of liars, and how to be a little bit of a pessimist while being optimistic about life itself. The stronger you are, the more educated you are, the harder you are to F with. If you'll notice in your life, and this goes for anyone, who do bullies tend to pick on the most? The weak and the dumb. The weak and the dumb are the ones that most often get picked on. And bullies could be someone at school. Some bullies could be someone at work. It could be just a rando in town. It could even be one of your own family members, a brother, half brother, a parent, or a step parent. There's lots of people that be bullies, but they always pick on the weak, and they pick on the dumb. But if you've educated yourself on how the real world works and read some of these old history books, like old philosophy, Friedrich Nietzsche, that's who I was trying to think of earlier. Look up Friedrich Nietzsche. He's an old German philosopher. And you start getting some guns on you. Like, I was almost dead. I had pencil arms. Like, this part of my arm used to be the size of this part of my arm. It was pathetic. In my opinion, I could just barely call myself a man because I was weak. Anybody could have whipped my ass. And I'm not saying I can whip anybody's ass. There's no way. I'm not stupid. There's plenty of guys that are way more capable. But I ain't afraid of not a single one of them. That doesn't mean I'm going to go pick a fight with them because I don't want to get my ass beat. But if they nobody's going to intentionally bully me without me. They may whip my ass, but they'll definitely think twice before effing with me. And that's what I recommend young people. Well, I recommend that for everybody, but particularly young people. And if you're 18, you've already got doing something, you've got an addiction. You haven't done it long enough because you simply haven't been alive long enough. And B, you've got so much. Yes. Thank you, Danon. Thank you very much. I didn't see that, but yes. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He was different, and apparently he's quite misunderstood. And I've ordered one of his books, so I'm waiting on it. Do you have Irish descent from Big Young Furry? I think so. To the best of my knowledge, I'm mostly German and English. I'm German on my father's side from his mother. And I think Leverett is English. I'm pretty sure. And to me, English, Irish, Scottish, it's all the same damn thing. Now, obviously, I know the Scots and all the Brits and the Irish would just want to crucify me for saying that. But hey, just chill. I can't help that my family came over here in the 1700s or 1600s. Y'all are all from the same damn island. Just chill out. I'm one of y'all. Austin, I'm sorry I'm commenting to sing so much, but for my past comments, I'm about to be 16 and still living in my toxic family. How can I deal with it? Austin, I'll give you the same advice. The same advice I was telling that other person, the same advice I told my own kids. Stay sober. Educate yourself. Read books. And if you don't have access to books, there's loads of just type in Friedrich Nietzsche books and they'll read them to you online. And open your mind to things, and then get in the gym. And if you don't have access to a gym, sit-ups, push-ups, crunches, run. Almost anybody can do sit-ups, push-ups, crunches, and run. Put down the junk food. Quit. If it comes my general rule of thumb, if it comes in a package or a box or a can, it's bullshit. If it's packaged in a box or a can, for the most part, and I'm not saying always, it's just a general rule of thumb, it's bullshit. Make your diet 80% protein from meat, with meat and eggs and cheese. And then anything after that, the other 20%, to me, that's just vitamins. Berries, apples, bananas, oranges, garlic, salt, pepper, lime, avocado, onion. That's literally all I eat. That 99% of the time, that's all I eat. Meat, egg, cheese, butter, salt, pepper, garlic that I squeeze. I break them up, and some people use a knife, but I've got mechanic's hands. I like crunching them. I just crunch them, and I peel it off, and I peel it myself. That's literally all I eat. 80% of your diet should be the protein. And if you're lifting every day, getting your heart rate every day, and educating yourself, you're 16 or about to be 16, you won't see a result in the beginning, but eventually you give it a few months, give it about 6 months. Maybe as young as you are, maybe you'll get a little bit better results, but give it 4 to 6 months. And then notice the change in how you feel, your mental clarity. And eventually you give it a year, especially at your age, you got hormones on your side, man. You're growing at the moment. High protein and high intense workouts, a minimum 15 minutes a day. At your age, you could do hours a day. And you make it a mental game. How long can I go? How long can I go? And then rotate every third day, do a different body part. That's why I do PPL, push, pull, legs. Day 1, do the push muscles. Day 2, do the pull muscles. Day 3, do legs. Repeat. Don't take any days off. As young as you are, if I had to do it all over again at 16, I bet you I wouldn't take off 7 full days an entire year. Just keep pushing and just see what your body does. And eventually, a year from now, especially at your age, if you eat right, and a protein is key. If you don't get the protein, and don't think you can get all the healthy protein from protein bars and shake, that's all BS. Get it for meat and eggs. Meat and eggs, cheese. Uh, I better have to preface this, YouTube. In my opinion, that is the way to go. A year from now, Austin, I guarantee if you keep that up for a year, all these toxic people around you, they'll think twice. They will. And I'm not saying don't ever go bullying, don't ever go pick a fight, but you make sure you're big enough and you're educated enough, and you make sure you know how to scrap, man. Make sure you know how to scrap. And if you look big and you're intelligent and you groom yourself, and you'll keep your clothes nice, keep your room clean, start doing things that you'll need to do anyway. You clean up your life, clean up your body, clean up your environment, and you get big and strong. I guarantee you that will change. When I walk to town now, and I'm not even that big. For my age, I'm in great shape. But when I go to town, compared to my old big beer belly I used to have, my little pencil arms, the looks that I get from people, it's a weird feeling. Michelle Lovett. I broke the cycle of abuse with my family. I had to embrace the quiet. Although lonely at times, my sanity was worth it. The dysfunction of my family was making me sick. I enjoy the quiet. Michelle knows exactly what I'm talking about because she's gone through it. She's lived it, and she's absolutely right. And congratulations, Michelle, on breaking the cycle. That is incredibly hard to do. Big Young Furry. Have you ever heard of that Nietzsche had a big ass mustache? Yeah. Yeah, he's famous for it. Big old, like, big frothy mustache. Have you ever been to either Louisville? No. Austin, I go to therapy to talk to someone, but even though I don't do it often, drinking or getting high is the easiest way to drown it out. Yeah, it's also the dumbest way. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm also not going to beat around the bush. That's the way I did it. That's the cheap, lazy way that I chose to deal with that. When Parker was stolen from me in Parker versus the Man, and you heard me break down and cry. I was shattered, and I wanted anything to ease the pain. And that was the dumbest, cheapest, laziest, just dumb thing. One of the dumbest moves I've ever made in my life was to deal with my problems with drugs and alcohol. To fall for the propaganda that you see on TV and radio and Hollywood and these influencers online that just constantly glorify that bullshit. Uh, it 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 I need to take a deep breath because I'm going to get pissed. I get so aggravated. All these influencers that just constantly just push that bullshit, and rock and roll people. And I grew up with rock and roll. I can't help it. I still love the music I grew up with. But other than the band Boston, almost every rock and roller ever promoted that lifestyle of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and it's propaganda. It's being fed to us on purpose for generations, and it's screwing us all up to think that we have to go to drugs and alcohol to deal with our problems instead of turning inward to ourselves, seeking God in whatever form you find God. I'm not here to preach, but I highly suggest you use that form of recovery and guidance, because that effing bottle will take you to an absolute road to nowhere. All right. Good night. Thank you for the advice. I'll definitely do that. I will not have this for my kids. Good. Break the cycle. All righty. Good night. Did I miss any? You broke the cycle. Yeah, I got to that. Yankees. Sorry, new viewer, but what really happened the day of the incident? The Parker movie? That's what really happened. I mean, it wasn't fake. I mean, I went to jail for it. What you saw happened. He didn't want to go back. And at first, I mean, he was so adamant he wasn't going to go back. I almost left Parker at my mother's house, which is where we had spent the weekend. I almost left him there and went and dropped the other three off. And then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, no, because I knew she's going to throw a fit, like a whopping fit, obviously. And I thought, but if she throws a fit when he's not there, she can instantly have proof that I broke the decree. So I told Parker that. I said, dude, I understand you want to go, and I'm not going to kick you out. But if you don't ride in the truck with me, it's an instant. I know I'll go to jail. I know I will, because that is blatantly going against the divorce decree. I said, but all it says here, and I pulled it out. I said, all it says here is I have to deliver you to her address at 2 p.m. on that Sunday. It doesn't say I got to kick you out. But at that point, son, you have to know that I'll record it because I know how she is. But it's up to you. And if you fold and you want to get out, that's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at you. But if you don't want to get out, that's entirely up to you. I will make it fair, and I'll make sure that whatever she tries to pull, that I'll catch it on all in recording, and it's up to you. So that's really what happened. Oh my goodness. It's 1:19. Y'all kitties, I think I'm gonna have to. I meant to only go an hour, and I didn't realize we've been going so long. Austin, I don't know if laws have changed, but how do the cops let Parker go? I think these days the cops have to detain you and bring you back home. It varies on state to state, and even within Texas. Texas is huge, and not all cops are the same, not by a long shot. We did get lucky; those two rookie cops were understanding. Um, if the second officer, Officer Rocha, hadn't showed up, because if you'll remember, Officer what's his name? Spinks, Brandon Spinks. He was under the impression that he had to get him out, and you heard him arguing later, which a lot of people talk shit about Spinks for being a dumb cop, didn't know the law, when they say Rocha came in later and saved the day. And I've always disagreed with that. And I've always been really critical of police. I'm not quite as bad as I used to, but I still am to some point. But I've always defended Officer Spinks, the first guy, the white cop that showed up first when he was wrong, saying he had to get out. And they started, he said, no, they changed it. No, they changed it. He took it like a man. He got corrected in front of a family dispute, knowing he was on camera, and he took it like a man. And he could have gone ape shit and gone nuts and gone all butch, I'm Billy Badass, and like got in a fight and arrested everybody and and just escalated it, but he didn't. He de-escalated it. And I've always been thankful for that young cop for being level-headed like that. and just he made a mistake, and it's okay to make mistakes. Nobody got hurt. He was wrong on something, whatever the law was. He didn't have to enforce it. Officer Rocha informed him of it, and he took it like a man. So I don't know. Just you have to talk to some people in your state, whatever state you're in, man. Michelle, love it. Good night. I'm so glad. TH. I don't know what TH means. Did you misspell? Oh, oops. I'll be here next chat too. All right. Well, cool. Well, Michelle, thanks so much. I plan on doing this daily. I may miss a day occasionally. Maybe I'll take off Sundays, but for now, I enjoy doing it. And if people show up and want to talk and want to become a member, I am setting a goal. I want to get a few more members. It's $4.99 a month. You'll call and pick my brain, or call and tell me what a piece of shit father I am. I'm still waiting on someone to expose me. These keyboard warriors have been telling me for years they're going to expose me, and they never do. So now's your opportunity. If you want to come on and tell me what a piece of shit I am, have at it. So anyways, all right, kiddies, I enjoyed it. I went significantly longer than I meant to, but I did enjoy it. So y'all take care, and I will catch y'all tomorrow. I'm going to see if let me know after this gets uploaded or whatever, I forgot to ask, what you think of that intro. I saw a few people said they liked it. If after 24 hours, that intro doesn't get this video demonetized, if it's copyrighted or whatever, and if y'all like it, then I'll just keep using that, because I kind of like it. It's like a funky song. It like gives me a little groove. I kind of like it. So anyway, y'all take care. Hit the like and subscribe, guys, because I'm a desperate YouTuber. All right, y'all take care. Bye. Hell, I'll just play that I'll play that as the outro. There it is. It's about 2 minutes long. Here's the outro. Y'all take care. Peace.